Here it is, 21 days of journaling. Handwriting. I was wrong. I challenged myself to a 21-day handwriting journaling challenge. And let me tell you, it is abundantly clear to me that there are no speed ramps, no shortcuts, no digital alternatives for healing God's way. So I thought, okay, I'll give this handwriting thing a try. Something new. But underneath there was a little bit of reluctance. And I realized that I was actually fighting an addiction to convenience. And that addiction was doing something to my brain that I didn't expect. For years, I've used a digital journal. It was really easy for me to just type my thoughts. I can type pretty fast, and my thoughts come pretty fast. And even more quickly, dictate my thoughts. Thoughts coming rapidly, and I'm dictating rapidly. But I found out convenience is the artificial sweetener poisoning our minds. We think it's good for us when it's just an artificial sweetener. So I know the digital is artificial, but I still didn't understand why the physical act of writing actually felt so different. It wasn't just nostalgia. As it turns out, my hand was actually talking to a specific part of my brain that had been asleep, taking a break, clocked out, whatever you want to call it. But that part of my brain hadn't been worked in a while. Handwriting changes the brain, changes our brain. Handwriting engages the brain to help neurons communicate. Specifically, the prefrontal cortex has been called the CEO of our brain. That CEO isn't having it. She's deactivating all the false alarms and clearing out all the smoke. And there is no substitution for the sweetness of peace of mind, peace and clarity, a clear mind. All right, I'm going to look at my notes. There's a researcher named Dr. James Pennebaker who's been studying expressive writing for decades. And what he discovered is that when we turn our emotional feelings into words, into language, it really can be as powerful as antidepressant drugs. Now, don't get me wrong, medication is a blessing and I'm thankful for it. But medication only quiets the noise, while writing helps you to decode the noise. Let me be clear. While medication can help stabilize the chemistry, personally, I found that writing helped me process the history. So you see, it's not just getting our thoughts out, but it is actually the process of getting our thoughts out. And when you trust that process, the battle is won. You stop being a victim of your emotions and you start wielding a spiritual weapon. So for me, the physical activity of handwriting hasn't just become a habit for me. It's become a way for me to exercise spiritual authority. When I'm physically writing in my journal, I'm exercising my God-given authority to direct my heart. I saw this video the other day. I am going to pretty much recite what that video said because it was so beautiful. In the video, they mentioned that we need to pour our heart out like water. This is found in Lamentations and throughout the Psalms. It's not just a beautiful metaphor. it's an essential human need for regulation. When you pour water out of a vessel, the vessel becomes light. It becomes empty. It becomes ready to be filled with something new. But if that water stays in the vessel and the vessel is sealed, the water becomes stagnant. When your thoughts are sealed inside you, pressure builds. They become toxic. They ferment into bitterness, worry, and physical tension. This is real. As I was slowly writing, my body was in tune to the thoughts. And so if I didn't immediately know what that thought was because it was so fragmented, I knew something was going on because I felt it in my body. And so the act of handwriting caused me to slow down, pay attention to what my body was telling me, and think about what I was thinking about. And I was able to put those thoughts together. And because I was slowing down, I physically felt my body relax. I'm not exaggerating. I physically felt my body slowing down. I physically felt my body relaxing. We want to put words to our fears, to our worries. But when you're struggling with depression, many of our thoughts are depressed ants, automatic negative thoughts. And most of those thoughts are lies. We need a focused and intentional method of capturing those thoughts, questioning those lies, and replacing it with truth. The prompts from my 21-day journaling challenge will help you do just that. Replace lies with truth. I've provided a PDF with the prompts, so you can download that. And that PDF also has scriptures for absolute truth. God has given us what we need to take care of ourselves, to care of our mental health and our physical health. If you haven't already joined the 7-day journaling challenge that I also continue for 2 more weeks to complete the 21 days over on my community tab, if you haven't already done that, the link is in the description. I did this 21-day challenge, but I'm not stopping here. I will continue to make handwriting my primary source of journaling. Handwriting slowed me down enough to hear my own thoughts. But now that I'm listening, I need to go somewhere where I can hear God even clearer. And it's not inside this house. My next series is going to be on communing with nature. Springtime is coming. We can get out there and walk and pray and commune with the Lord through His creation, observing and appreciating His creation. Thank you for hanging with me throughout this series. And remember to keep picturing your hearts as God sees you, worthy of love, capable of healing, and never alone in the dark.